What's up, Dodgers Nation? On this edition of the 3 Up 3 Down podcast, I'm talking about why Walker Buehler has all of a sudden become underrated. Welcome back to the 3 Up 3 Down podcast. My name is Eric Yulo, your host for this Dodgers Nation production. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. That is at EEULAU. If you haven't already, highly suggest that you subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. And I'm going to talk about a phenomenon I think is very much real this year, and that is people all of a sudden underrating our guy, Walker Buehler, Butane. The guy, the hurler, the ace of this Dodgers staff. The torch was passed this year when he started on opening day instead of Clayton Kershaw. So we put up a poll on our YouTube community page asking how would you rate Walker Buehler's performance so far this year. 16% says he's underrated, 24% overrated, and 58% properly rated, with some other people chiming in with their own write-in summations of his performance this year. Look, he's not striking guys out like he used to. He's not the flamethrower that he used to be. Is some of that, them banning the sticky, icky for the pitchers? Probably. You saw where the RPMs are on some of his pitches. And this is a guy who still is top 25 in all of baseball in ERA, and he doesn't even have his four-seam fastball going. He admitted that himself in a recent interview. So you're telling me this guy who doesn't even have his primary pitch working or where he wants it to be from a velocity and a command standpoint is still one of the 25 best starters by ERA. He's also top 25 in fielded independent pitching. And I just haven't really heard the chatter that I heard about a month ago about Walker Buehler once again being in the NL Cy Young hunt. He was all of last year. Bad 3-4 starts at the end kind of ruined it for him. Zach Wheeler shouldn't have got it, but that's a podcast for a different day that I've already done. You should go check it out on the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Walker Buehler has all of a sudden become underrated. I don't hear him talked about the same way because we have this expectations that he's the second coming of Nolan Ryan and he should be striking out every hitter. Now, is his strikeout rate a little low? Yes. Would I like to see him strike out some more batters and not everything be so contact dependent? Yes, absolutely. But he's keeping the ball in the yard. He's limiting the home runs at a rate that he never has in his entire career. And he's still been incredibly effective. He had that complete game shutout against the Diamondbacks. And there's just not that feel of that dominance on a Walker Buehler start this year. He's still a really, really, really good pitcher. So in my mind, I think he went from young up-and-comer, established, had the playoff stuff. All of a sudden we raise our expectations, and then now, because he's fallen a little short of them, he's gone from overrated to underrated in the span of like a month and a half. Like, I don't know why more people aren't talking about him. I get that Tony Gonsolin, who's one of my favorite pitchers on the Dodgers, a guy who I think has a ton of upside, a guy who's leading the staff in ERA right now. I think that has taken some of the shine off of Walker Buehler. Julio Urias, as my friend Doug McCain would say, is having a great year too. But I just feel like we're forgetting about Walker Buehler. And look, some of the starts haven't been pretty. Not going to say he's been flawless, but the attitude about Dodgers fans about Walker Buehler right now, at least some fans, thinking that he's overrated. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think we're talking about him enough, what he's been able to do without his primary pitch. How many pitchers in this league would be able to have a sub-3 ERA if their four-seam fastball did not have the regular velocity and did not have the normal command of that pitch? I mean, there's not many. It's a very, very, very short list. I think Walker Buehler, I know what the vote said, 58% said properly rated. That's a subset. I believe in democracy, and I love our YouTube community here on the Dodgers Nation tab, but I got to disagree. I think people are underrating him. I think Dodger fans are underrating him. I think Major League Baseball fans are underrating him, and I would be shocked if he's not in the thick of the Cy Young race this summer. He's an incredibly talented pitcher. We know that. I think that strikeout number is going to bump up. I think he's going to start figuring it out here. I think he's going to figure out how to live without the sticky stuff, and you can never doubt his ceiling. His ceiling is sky high. He is the best playoff pitcher alive right now, in my opinion, as far as starters go. I still think if game one was tomorrow, you put Walker Buehler out on that mound. That's just how good he is and how he dials it up for those big games. He's going to trend up, but I think he's just not getting talked about enough. And we're going to start talking about him a lot more once he starts stringing together some really dominant starts. Whether that's with strikeouts or whether that's with just getting soft contact, who knows? But I would bet that we're going to start to see Walker Buehler figure it out get those punchies, and reassert himself as one of the best starting pitchers in baseball that people are not talking about enough right now. That's it. That's all I got time for. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. You can check out our latest roundtable there. We talked about starting pitchers the Dodgers should try to acquire. We got Blue Heaven. As always, a good time. We talked about Muncy's slump this past week on Monday. Always a ton of good stuff, but that's all I got time for. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the other side.